My name is Andrew Budziak, and I am an urban wildlife photographer. Cities across Canada are home to some remarkable animals that we don't often know are even there. So in this series, I'm traveling coast to coast, using photography to tell the stories of some awesome urban wildlife. Each stop along the way has its own unique assignment, challenges, and adventures. So grab your camera. Things are about to get wild. We start all the way out west. Vancouver is home to some incredible animals. But I'm here to photograph just one. I want a shot of a seal in an urban setting. For that, I'll need water, a solid background, and cooperative seals. So I've come here. This right here is called Fisherman Wharf. That means there are fish brought in here. And do you know who loves to eat fish? That's right, Harbour Seals. So, I think it's a pretty good spot to see what we can find. I'm gonna head out kind of down this way. Oh, this is gross. Squishy and crunchy, like a really good chocolate bar. Thought there'd be seals just jumping out of here and doing tricks, flying, sunbathing, having a great time. Every time I see a little ripple, like, oh yeah, it's a seal popping its head out. But it's just the wind. There's nothing going on here. A lot of birds though. Mocking me? Birds have been putting on a great show. I've had zero luck with Harbour seals down here. I'm really happy with what I've been able to shoot with these birds. And then, while the crew and I thought we were catching a scene of birds fighting over some discarded leftovers, the scene turned ugly. Oh my God. Poor old lady left her fish and chips on top of her car. The birds just went to town on it. Oh, these crows. Oh my God. It's elder abuse. Okay, you're welcome. In case you don't know, Vancouver has incredible food, so I decided to take a moment and consider my next move while supporting the local economy. Seals are smart and curious, which can make for a great aquatic photo opportunity. But for that to happen, I'll have to get wet. I didn't feel like getting my head chopped off by a float plane, so I'd have to leave the downtown harbor. I checked the map and looked at the weather and wave conditions. About 20 minutes away, I found a promising spot that wouldn't involve decapitation. After I finished my humble meal, it was time for bed, because tomorrow I would be starting very early. This is Horseshoe Bay in West Vancouver, which connects to the majestic Howe Sound. And guess what you can find splashing around here? Well, my plan was to get a nice, intimate portrait of one of these seals, underwater.
As a reference for your descent, you'll be descending into about 45 feet of water initially, but as you go through that zone, it should clear up at that 30 to 40 feet, and then most of your dive will be in much clearer water.
Captain Kevin Brickman knows these waters. He's been navigating them for years. The plan was to go for a dive and let the seals find us. This was West Vancouver, and these are urban seals.
I'm just gonna shine my light on it. I'm probably gonna give it a wave or circle around it. That way you guys can see.
Our dive
what it
master
is
for the
that
day
it's
was
like.
Jade Bat. She knows the scene underwater here.
And then no less than 500 PSI.
What's better than diving with mountains as the backdrop? Diving with one of your best friends. Ryan Morgan happens to be one of the camera operators on this show, and my diving buddy.
God, your shoulders are broad. Also broad shoulders? No. Keep working. One day.
This was going to be a good dive. Unfortunately, the other camera operator on the show needs to learn that some questions are better left unasked.
What's the worst that could happen today?
You just asked what's the worst that can happen today? We're going scuba diving. We're breathing from tanks. Humans weren't meant to do that. What do you mean what's the worst that can happen? Jesus.
Pre-dive jitters were fully activated, so that meant it was time to dive. The water was cold, dark, and mysterious. Diving in Howe Sound ain't the Caribbean. It was spooky and incredible to explore. I love cold water diving, and this was cold. The scene was mesmerizing. But while we were waiting for the seals to show up, I ran into a problem. I began an accidental, uncontrolled ascent. This is bad news. Surfacing too quickly can do serious damage to your body, and even be fatal. And just as bad is that Ryan and Jade didn't see where I went, and losing a diver underwater is terrifying. Luckily for me, I was able to get my ascent under control. I was okay and got on board a few minutes before Ryan and Jade surfaced.
You okay?
Yeah, yo, I'm fine.
Fuck, thank God.
Sorry to give you a scare, buddy.
Fucking terrified.
Let's go.
Jerks the heart, doesn't it?
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
The moment you're swimming around and you look there and one of your best buddies is missing, terrifying. I was like 80% relieved, 20% wanted to punch him in the face. It's adventures, right?
Okay, guys, well, obviously, you guys did great. So I suggest we go over, Twin Peaks, do a little dive there. So it's a different type of topography on the bottom. And we'll go from there.
So back in we went, and this location was even better. It was brighter, and the sea life was fantastic. The jellyfish came out to play and put on an excellent show. I know they're found everywhere, but I always love coming across starfish. These giant cauliflower-looking things are plumas anemones, and they're straight up magical. There were no seals to be seen, so I settled for shooting this haunting aquatic wonderland. And this made for a super fun dive.
That was better.
No luck so far on the photo front. I knew there were seals around Vancouver Shores. I just needed to find them. I heard stories of seals swimming alongside joggers on the seawall surrounding Stanley Park. It's one of those things that sounds almost too perfect, but in my experience, local knowledge and stories are always worth exploring. So I headed down to see for myself. I picked a spot, built my camera, and fixed my eyes on the water.
Oh, here it is. Look at the cute little face. Oh, and just like that, gonzo. You see the little ripples, little bubbles. Come on, you sea dog. Oh, you're beautiful. Show me your head again, come on. I got on the seawall and 10 seconds later, look what showed up. There's great seal action here, but unfortunately these photos aren't working. There's not enough sunlight. We gotta head that way a little bit into the next cove where there's still some daylight. Had to get on a new lens. It's flipping upside down. The seal keeps coming. This is unbelievable. I can't believe the seal is coming right up under my feet. One of these bites is gonna run over my legs for sure. What's making this so hard is that about a dozen things have to come together to make this photo. I've got the bridge in the background, I've got the water in the foreground, and the seal has to kind of come up right in my lens, not too far away, not too close, and be facing me, so I'm kind of dangling off with my camera low enough to make that happen. It's getting hard to breathe here. I don't want to move because I don't want to blow this shot. Disgusting. The second the sun went down behind those mountains over there, the seals disappeared. It was like that was their cue to go home. And these lights on the bridge just came on, and I think that's my cue to go home. But I'm gonna be back here tomorrow, and I'm gonna get this shot because this is the perfect location.
These particular seals are only active around dinner time, so I had some time to kill, which was great. I'm passionate about photography, all photography. And there's a super cool photographer who lives here that I wanted to meet. Janasalugi is a spectacular portrait photographer.
What kind of photography you do, scares me. It's so exposed.
I think that I have a difficult time showing up in a lot of ways, or I've been very shy most of my life, but I've also have this interest in people and portraiture in particular.
Is there right now an indigenous renaissance with art? Are you seeing more people with maybe a similar experience to yours creating?
The truth is, the art never stopped being made, but there were a lot of barriers to that, with those being lifted. We're, again, more interested in reconnecting to our culture and using modern mediums to express it, to connect with each other. Just claiming a stake or a piece of the culture and this crazy world that's yours is really important to keep your sanity.
After chatting with Tunasa, I was fired up to resume my quest. The seals want to be active for a few more hours though. So to calm my nerves and gain some additional knowledge about my subject, I've come here. The Marine Mammal Rescue Center is where the aquatic animals that need help go to get help. Lindsay Ackhurst runs this place. And if you wanted to work with animals when you grew up, you were imagining a job like Lindsay's. She spends a lot of time with marine animals. So I wanted to talk to her about some of the problems facing the city's harbor seals.
I think we have a couple at the aquarium still, and they're adorable.
Oh my God. That face right there is your head of fundraising.
Oh, totally, yeah.
What are you saying?
So for us, we're seeing a lot of human interaction. We get people who see these pups on the beach and they feel like they need to be rescued, when a lot of times they actually don't need to be rescued. Sometimes they do, and that's what we're there for.
There's just so much traffic in these waters, so propellers?
Yeah, we do see boat strikes. In fact, the animal that's behind us kind of creeping on us right now, this is Penny. She was struck by a boat, and the prop basically sliced her muzzle, so her face, her nose, right off. She's had quite a few reconstruction surgeries. She's beautiful in every sort of way, and she's eating, she's doing really well, and our hope is to actually release her in the next few weeks.
So with that way that her teeth are exposed,
Yes.
all of that, she'll be okay to go back, hopefully?
Yeah, we're doing a live fish school trial with her, and once she proves she can eat the fish again, then she's back out there.
Incredible.
I don't know what that was.
That was awesome. As the port gets busier and busier, and the city grows and the country grows, and there are more goods coming out of here, and more transportation, are these animals going to see an increased risk as things get busier?
Yeah, but I also think there is that chance for people who are in our position to be able to say, hey, look, like we need to share our waters with these guys to be able to coexist.
One look at Penny shows that sharing the water isn't an easy task. While shooting from the shore, our crew came way too close to seeing for ourselves just how dangerous the harbor can be for aquatic mammals. As our cameras were rolling, a seal popped its head out of the water, realized there was trouble coming, and just in time dove clear of ending up with a face like Penny's or worse.
A major theme of this show is space like this. Urban habitats that are home to urban wildlife. What I'm interested in are the animals that live right here, right alongside of us, and in some cases, under us. Vancouver's a bustling city, and as it gets busier, the waterways are going to get busier. There's no denying it. This country is growing. The waterways in our cities are absolutely bustling with life, but we don't always see it.
I am truly passionate about space like this. And I do believe in the power of photography.
I hope in some small way the photography on the series and the stories we tell can help show people what's out there. And maybe if we can fall in love with what's in our water, we'd be a little bit more eager to protect it.
With that rant out of the way, it's time to get back to work. I'll let you in on a little secret. There's a quiet terror that grips every photographer in the twilight hours of their assignment when they don't have their shot. Well, in this moment, I'm feeling that terror. It's my last night in Vancouver and I don't have the photo I need.
The shot I want is the seal like right here with the bridge in the background.
The small window has just opened between when the seals are active and when the sun goes down and the seals disappear. So I decided to go with a weird idea.
This is my monopod. It's meant to go this way when you're using big, heavy cameras. But what I'm thinking is I may be able to get my camera on here, lower it, and remotely take a photo. Put my hat into serious mode. If this comes out of my hands, it's kind of a big problem. That was so close to being awesome.
What you're looking at is a very desperate man trying to get his photo before the sun goes down.
It's doing its belly thing, which is amazing from above. But from down here, it just looks like a log. I'm getting frustrated. I've only got a little bit of time before the sun goes down. Just a reflection of the sky. So hard to tell. I can't get it. I got it. It's got the bridge. It's got the sweet little nose. It's got the skyline. That's the photo. This isn't for Instagram. This is a big print.
30 minutes until sunset on my last night in Vancouver. A little close for comfort, but I'm happy.
And you know what? We got daylight. These guys are still swimming around. I'm gonna get some portraits. This was a magical night. Vancouver has been perfect.
And just like that, the Vancouver weather did what the Vancouver weather does best. Got dark and rainy, which was fine because it was time to pack, sleep for a few hours, and head on to the next city.